Welcome back to Hannity. He spoke truth to power at the National Prayer Breakfast last month. And over the weekend, the world-renowned brain surgeon, Dr. Benjamin Carson, stole a show at CPAC. He also opened up for the first time about the racially charged backlash that he received after he dared to be honest in front of President Obama. Watch this.
It's very interesting, the outpouring of sentiment that I received after the speech at the National Prayer Breakfast. I got so much mail. Letters, books, just amazing from everybody. And some of the more poignant ones were from older Americans who said they had given up and they were just waiting to die. And now they felt a sense of revival once again. I also got a few nasty grams from people. How dare you insult my president? You are a N-word, and you need to get back. It's just unbelievable, But, when did we reach a point where you have to have a certain philosophy because of the color of your skin? When did that happen,
Joining me now, the man you just heard from, author of America the Beautiful, director of pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital, although soon to retire, Dr. Benjamin Carson. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it is so common if you express any conservative thought and you're African American, you're eviscerated, you're smeared, you're slandered. How bad was it after that prayer breakfast?
Well, the vast majority of communications were extremely positive. I have to say that. But there were some of individuals who are relatively narrow-minded and sort of like to put people into categories and boxes and can't understand why you would move off the reservation. I will say, however, I've been thrilled because I've had so many of my African-American colleagues at Johns Hopkins come up to me and say, I'm a Democrat, but if you run, I'm certainly going to vote for you. and I'm not saying anything about me running, but it is wonderful to know that there's some people who actually think for themselves and judge a person on the content of their character.
Okay, but you did open the door by saying, if I were in the White House, if I was in the White House. So it does beg the question, and you answered it saying that you will let prayer guide you, but are you thinking about it? Is it in your thought process?
Well, I would say certainly if a year or a year and a half from now there's significant sentiment, I would certainly have to give it consideration. But you know how things come and go, so I think it was way too early to even think about it.
All right, but you're leaving the door wide open. That's pretty interesting to me. Who do you like? When you look at the different people out there that potentially could run, who impresses you?
Well, I certainly like the individual you just had on.
Ted Cruz?
No.
Rand Paul.
Rand Paul, because, and it's not just because he's a doctor like I am. He thinks quite logically, and you know, he has courage. He's willing to take positions that some other people won't. And part of the problem that we're having right now is that there are a lot of people who lack courage, who always want everybody to adore them, and they just are not willing to take stands based on real convictions. And when I see that, I'm very impressed with it.
That is my biggest criticism of Republicans. Republicans right now, if they really want to, not just symbolically, if they want to repeal health care, Dr. Carson, Obamacare, they've got to shut the government down and be labeled the full faith and credit of the United States is in jeopardy, which is not true. But if they really want to do that, that's what it will take. I want them to do it.
Yeah, I think they need to also have a replacement ready to go. And this is where we really need to concentrate a little bit of effort. I think it can be crafted fairly quickly because we already spend way more than enough money on health care. And I want to do it in such a way that we put the power in the hands of the people to control their own health care and put that relationship, that doctor-patient relationship, back together. It makes for much better health care.
Yeah. What do you think? The president tried to scare everybody with the sequestration, Armageddon talk, and now they're threatening that the Easter egg roll may not take place on the White House lawn this year, might be closed down, they're saying, if in fact the government closes down. Do you think the president is living too lavish a lifestyle? Now, Jay Carney was asked about this. We've closed the White House to visitors. Kids can't go see it. I want you to see this exchange and respond to it. Watch this.
When there's government workers who may be furloughed, millions of Americans unemployed, and family budgets that have been cut, how does the president justify lavish vacations and a golf trip to Florida at taxpayer expense? And does he plan to cut back on his travel?
I can tell you that this president is focused every day on policies that create economic growth and help advance job creation. We have presided over the past 3 years over an economy that's produced over 6.3 million private sector jobs, and we have more work to do. And this president's #1 priority is growth and job creation.
Oh, what a bunch of, there's 20 million more Americans on food stamps, #1, and #2, we have 1 in 6 Americans in poverty. What would Dr. Carson do if he was president? Would you cut back?
Well, I would certainly cut back, but the way I would cut is evenly, but I would give the managers of each department discretion because they know where the fat is. So they're not going to cut the muscle, they're going to cut the fat. It seems like what the president is doing is trying to cut in the places where it hurts the most in order to prove a point. And if ever the mainstream media reaches a point where they recognize that if we destroy this nation and destroy the economy, they too will be destroyed, I think at that point they will start asking the tough questions and helping to move the population in the right direction.
Don't hold your breath, Dr. Carson. I declared in my own medical way the media in this country dead. May they rest in peace. All right, good to see you, sir. Thanks for being with us.
You too. Thanks.